Hi, friends. My lineage begins with me, the forgotten commandment. What is the first great commandment? We know it's love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, might, mind, and strength. And what is the second commandment? Love thy neighbor. As it states in Mark 12:31, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. So what is the forgotten commandment? We focus on loving God as Christians. We focus on loving our neighbor as Christians. But do we usually look at love your neighbor as yourself? If we're supposed to love God and we're still supposed to love our neighbors, aren't we supposed to also love ourselves? We talk a lot about the other two first great commandments, but I guess this is kind of one and a half, because if you think about it, you can't really love your neighbor unless you love yourself first. But how often as we as Christians do we break that commandment? I heard a quote once, don't know who said it, but if you spoke to your best friend the way that you speak to yourself, would they be your best friend anymore? Now, I don't think that I have it all figured out. I thought that I loved myself, and I do. But I get angry very often. And I just went to a webinar last night where maybe the reason that I get angry at others is because I'm angry at myself for those reasons that I get angry at others about. I don't know if this applies to you as well, but what do you get angry, or what triggers you? What gets you the most annoyed? And do you find that in yourself? I was doing a deep dive before this video and realized that everything I get annoyed with others about, I either do currently with others, either my relationship with God, my relationship with my family, my relationship with my parents, my relationship with my husband, that type of thing. I've done it at one point, or my relationship with my parents. I've done it or siblings. One point in my life, I have done all the things that I get annoyed at others about. Do we focus on filling our cup up enough so that we can give, so that that cup can overflow and fill to others? Maybe, maybe not. But let me give you 5 tips today on how you can start loving yourself. Number 1, so many times we think about what's bad about ourselves, what's negative, what's imperfect, what we need to work on. But how often do we focus on what's good in ourselves? Because even though you're not perfect and there are things that you need to work on, I'm sure you'll work on those. I'm sure church or family members or yourself will figure out what's wrong with you. But number 1 tip today is write a list of all the things that are good about you. You don't have to share this list with anybody, so you don't have to feel like you're bragging or that you feel like you're arrogant or anything like that, because if it's just a list for yourself, it's just to remind you what's good about you. And these could be physical traits. These could be emotional, spiritual, different attributes that you like about yourself. just whatever it is, different experiences in your life where you did a good thing, that you chose the good part. And in that situation, you get to be the one to decide what that good part is. Number 2, what is it that you are striving to become? And think about what parts you already have of who you are striving to become. Because it's always good when let's say we're getting a treasure. There's going to be a treasure map. X marks the spot. Well, the X that marks the spot is, who are you trying to become? And then the starting point is, what traits do you already have? You'll figure out how to get the other traits. But as Chinese medicine says, if you focus on your strengths, your weaknesses follow. So the more that you focus on what you're good at, what is good about you, the more you can work on the things that you need to work on. Number 3, be compassionate towards yourself today. Start talking to yourself as you would want a best friend to talk to you. So when you make a mistake, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm such an idiot, why did I do that?" or whatever it is that you say that's negative to yourself, start saying things like, "It's okay, we'll do better next time." Or, "It's okay, that was a mistake, that was something I can try and do better." Or however it is that you want your best friend to talk to you, start talking to yourself that way. Number 4, whenever you see a bad quality in yourself, flip it around and say a good quality about yourself. So let's say that your bad quality is, and this applies to me, I don't get places on time very often. And so a good quality I could say is, yes, that's true, but when I get there, I work hard. I'm talking about work or things like that. It doesn't have to be related, but whenever you think of a negative, always think of a positive in yourself. And number 5, look for the good in others, especially the good that you see in yourself. All of those things that you wrote down that are good about you, start looking for that in others. And I think you'll see it more and more. And then you'll find more and more good things to see about yourself. Now, I did not even talk about my lineage begins with me. We mentioned about lineage in the Bible, or people who came before you, grandparents, those who have passed away. But then you think about the other part of your lineage, which we'll talk about next time, is your children and those who come after you. Well, who's in the middle? That's you. That's why your lineage starts with you, because there has to be a you in order to have people that came before you and people that came after you. So your lineage starts with you. And that's why it's important to focus on you, because you are enough. I keep saying that, and I'll keep saying it, because you are enough, and God bless you.